Hello, Adriano. Welcome to Sweden. Welcome to the fourth edition of the Data Innovation Summit here in Stockholm. We are pleased to have you and Kemin Industries with us. Before we proceed, can you please introduce yourself, your background?
Of course. I've been working for Kemin now for 8 years. Before joining Kemin, I had the opportunity to work with a big company like Pfizer and Barilla. I definitely started with Barilla, which was my initial job. You know, Barilla is the pasta maker in Parma.
Barilla is Italy.
yes. So just after graduation, after 2 days after graduation, I started working with them. It was on something SQL related, so programming on databases. Then I had the opportunity to join Pfizer, a big multinational company, pharma company.
Yes, of course, Pfizer.
And it was a very major experience for me. It was very, very interesting to see so advanced company like pharmaceutical companies are. I had the opportunity also to work in a Telecom Italia, so Italian telecom company. And finally, I joined Kemin. I initially joined Kemin as an ERP support expert. And then I had the opportunity to work for 3 years as EMEA supply chain manager, which means I was responsible for the EMEA region for procurement, logistics, customer service, and manufacturing planning. This gave me a huge opportunity to learn new stuff, to really get a deep understanding about the process of the company. Because when you're responsible from sourcing of the raw materials up to the distribution of final goods, you really embrace the entire process. And also gave me the opportunity to really understand what business users want from a BI system.
Well, that's quite of an experience.
Yes, it was very challenging because I graduated in computer engineering, and when they asked me to switch to supply chain, it was a challenge, let's say, but it was very positive experience. I can rate definitely one of the most positive experiences in my life.
Adriano, you presented today about replacing static files with impactful self-service analytics using Power BI. So in one of your key points, I'm quoting you now, never underestimate the importance of real-time data reporting needs for business users. And this is, frankly, one of the biggest business intelligence challenge that organizations are facing today. So can you please reveal a bit more?
As I said, when we started thinking about Power BI and analytics, also most of the vendors are focused on the analytical part of reporting. So you have been using data warehouse, you have been using SQL Server analysis services, but all these technologies don't fit too much for the real-time reporting. Many of the business processes, again, this was also thank you to my experience with the business. Some of the key processes rely on real-time data. I'll give you an example. While I was in procurement, I had the opportunity to visit one of the biggest factories in Europe for the production of kibbles for dogs and cats. So it was a pet food manufacturer. And while I was visiting the logistic area, I saw large screens where they have the number of orders being shipped that moment on the line. And it was something which was really interesting to me. After a few weeks, I was in the US, and I was in my boss's office, and he said, yesterday we ordered a pizza at Domino, and my son could track the pizza from the pizzeria to our home using an app. Can we do something similar? Of course, everything is rated on real-time data. And I thought immediately that the experience I had in the Czech Republic with the big company, say, okay, we can work on it. And finally, what we did, and now what we have done in our factories, is installing these large screens where we can follow the evolution of the orders. So everyone in the company, from the central office in Des Moines or to the very remote office in China, they can follow for each warehouse what is going to be shipped in that moment. So they can track everything, and they can understand also the workload for the factory and for the workers for the warehouse. And they can anticipate eventual if we have any issue. So we establish a single point of truth by using real-time data, which that was the major challenge. Moreover, because our core system is based on a specific technology called EBMDB2, and we didn't want to use Power BI to access it because they don't fit too much together. And moreover, we didn't want to have a lot of users pulling data from the core system, because this could impact the performance of the core system. Or you have people entering transactions, you have other people reading, so this could be conflicting. So what we implemented, thank you to our some of our partners, is a parallel system which replicates real time all transactions which are happening on the DB2 platform to a SQL Server 2016 platform. That's critical because we can replicate data immediately. So as soon as a transaction is entered on the main system, it is replicated to the SQL. And using SQL Server 2016 gives you the ability to implement row-level security. So we can secure also the data. We can make sure that people who should access the data can access the data. So we can apply this methodology.
The manufacturing industry, Adriano, has been ongoing frequent developments, and I believe you will agree when it comes to data-driven approach. And according to McKinsey, most of the data that will be produced by 2025 will actually come from this particular industry. Developments in IoT are generating more and more data each day. But according to the same report, factories' analytics capabilities have not caught up to this. And many companies still disregard most of their data they can collect because they don't have the operational analytical capabilities actually to integrate that data in the operations. How true is this?
Yeah, that's definitely true. I totally agree with this. We see this every day. But I think now the companies are realizing. I think last year we heard a sentence here was data is the king.
Yeah.
This year we hear data is the new currency. So
Yeah.
data is very, very, very critical, important to companies. They start understanding the value of it. And I will also add one other thing, that we are moving to, in the next months, to a new revolution, the 5G networks available. So we have billions of new devices be connected. Now, I think today someone mentioned that in their factory have more than 400 devices connected to the reporting system or BI system. Maybe in the future with the 5G increasing, you will have even more devices because you can connect almost everything, also in your home. So again, I think business leaders will start to see the need for having more
handling all of that,
controlling
and using it, of course.
Using it to prepare for the next, what's going to be next, because you can do predictive maintenance, which guarantees you that zero stops on your value chain. That's critical for companies. You never want to stop your manufacturing.
Manufacturing process.
You need to be able to anticipate possible damages, possible stops, and you can do this if you do maintenance, predictive maintenance. And you need to connect those devices. You can use cables, so the standard networks, but I think
without IoT, actually, that is not possible nowadays.
Yes.
Okay, but considering the amounts of data, the technology, the old processes in place, according to you, where do you see the biggest impact of data-driven innovation?
For sure, I think the ability to predict. I think we heard already this morning. That was very cool. So data is the prediction is becoming cheaper, but the data is getting more value because people see the value, and our predictive capacities are now increasing. In the past, you had to fight against the size of your data because we didn't have too much storage capability. Today, you have the cloud; you can scale up whatever you want. So we have endless possibility to extract the data, to transform it, and to build machine learning systems. I think you also were mentioning with the previous speaker here, the important is to build solid and consistent system and models. Otherwise, how you're going to teach the system what should we learn?
Exactly.
That's critical.
Okay, you are on the BI side, and from your perspective, what are the biggest hinders, challenges that organizations face when it comes to business intelligence?
What I've seen from my experience is the mentality.
And of course, the implications of not dealing with those challenges.
Yeah, cultural change in an organization is a challenge. So when you come
many
to,
people said this.
yeah, I've seen this. Asking people, suggesting people to change the way to approach to a process because there's something which can do it faster and better. That's something which you really take care. You have to take care. Since I started IT, I always seen people asking me, "Can you do this for me because this is my process." I always say you need to fix the process first, and then try to automate. Because if you have a messy process, the automation will help you to do a messy process but faster. If you have a stable and precise framework in your process, the automation will work because it will make it faster and more precise. It will give you the ability not to spend time on preparing the data or preparing the reports, but just analyzing the data. Because the added value for people is not preparing the data, it's analyzing the data. Also, always analyzing the output of a machine learning system.
One last question, Adriano. What can we expect in the near future, let's say next year, with all of these hypes and automation, AI?
I think as the same 5G networks.
Yeah, you already mentioned it.
They're going to have an impact on all this.
More like in the manufacturing industry. What's to come?
Industries, they will realize how much important is the data, how much important is going to be IoT.
The machine data is really getting pretty cool. So
yes. So they will realize, and we will move towards that. But as I said, we need to be prepared to create stable and well-defined models. Otherwise, machine learning will not suggest us what to do.
Perfect. Adriano, thank you for being part of the data innovation. Thank you for accepting to conduct this interview with us. My pleasure.
It was really a pleasure for me. Hope to see you soon next year.
Of course.